All right, y'all, we're here. We're live, as you can see above me. I got my name back, Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. Be sure to go there, like all our content, watch all our content, share all our content, and most of all, subscribe to all of our content. We got a good show for you today. It's basically an Arkansas Wrestling Association show today. Both guys we got on today are from the Arkansas Wrestling Association. First up here, man, we got a dude. He's a hidden gem. He's been a hidden gem around West Tennessee for a long time, but he's getting out there, making a name for himself. He's collecting titles. He's known as the king of the Kendo sticks because he always brings the wood. I give you none other than Zach Obrien. Zach.
What's up, man? What's up?
I don't know it, man. It's good to see you, man. Good to have you here, dude.
Man, it's an honor to be here, man.
Man, I appreciate you coming, giving me some of your time, man. I know now you're busy, dude.
Very.
Like I said, you've been a hidden gem here around West Tennessee for a good while now, man. We'll get into that, but you've been branching out, and man, you kind of like a gold collector almost, man. I know you are the current AWA heavyweight champion.
That's right.
There you go. There it is right there, folks. And as of this weekend, what was it? You collected another heavyweight title. You're the NWF heavyweight champion. Dude, come on now. And look, that ain't it. If that ain't crazy enough, you and a partner, Marvelous Mike Mayo, collected the Tennessee Championship Wrestling Tag Team titles.
Yes, man. We did. We formed this group, man, at TCW called Shooters Inc. And we set out to make one goal, and surprisingly, the goal was not to win tag team gold. It was not. But it just, it happened along the way. So
hey man, you can't argue with success, dude. I mean, here's the thing: you got two heavyweight titles. Now you one half of the tag team champions, dude. You got to have somebody now with you just to carry all your gold, man.
No, man. I look at myself as Roman Reigns. The indie circuit Roman Reigns right now. Which I know there's a bunch of us indie guys that have multiple championships, but I carry heavyweight titles for two different companies, and now I'm a tag team champion. So it's only going to get better from here, man.
Well, look, now, a lot of our fans going to be watching this. They know about you. They, like I said, up here in West Tennessee, they're really accustomed to you. But for the fans who may not know who Zach Obrien is, won't you kind of tell everybody how you got into business? I know it's the same old shit everywhere you go, but it is what it is, dude. Kind of give everybody a little origin story of Zach Obrien, how you came to be, man.
Man, I've been in and around the business my entire life. I can remember being 4 or 5, 6 years old in the backyard wrestling with family. And at that point I was Zach Obrien, but up until I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't know where I was going to go with myself. I didn't know what kind of character, should I say, I was going to have. And my mentor at the time was Sarge O'Reilly, and he was like, look, you bring a stick out with you, keep it, use it, run with it, become the Kendo stick king. And I stuck with it. So just growing up in the business, man, is how I got here. If it wasn't for my stepfather, I probably would have never become a wrestler. But it just being around it my whole life, man, kind of put me on the path of this is what I'm gonna do. So now I'm here.
Yeah, you're here, man. You're out there now, dude. You're making a name for yourself, man. I'm glad to see you out there. You're one of the guys around here in West Tennessee that, man, I mean, from the first day I saw you, I knew you could go places, man. You just got to get out there and go for it, man. I'm glad to see you out there. Look, dude, we got a comment from Jacob Puckett. He says, "Hey, what's up, Jacob? We glad you watching, dude."
How you doing, man? How you doing? Hey, share this. Share this. I don't think I'm little, Buster, at all. I'm very far from being little, so I don't understand that person's comment at all. Little Zach.
I think he said, "I don't like Zach." All right, hold on. We got Big Mike Gilmore. He says, "What's up, Buster?" Oh, and Little Zach. All right, I was looking at the wrong thing. I don't know either, dude. He claims to be the best announcer around.
Yeah, well, look, it's very well known, at least in our area, who my father is, and I've argued with this man numerous times. My father has won numerous awards for his announcing. So, I mean, come on, man. If you don't put yourself over, who's going to? But at the same time, I mean, you barking up the wrong tree. So
if you don't put yourself over, who's going to, man? Couldn't have been said better. Well, look, man, why don't you, if you want to, let everybody know who your stepdad is, man, who your father is, dude.
Well, for the last 13 going on 14 years, David Big Dave Sims. Everybody knows him as Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Around the business, he's been in the business 20-something years. That's my stepdad, but I mean he's more of a dad. And like I said earlier, like he's the reason I'm where I'm at. Like if it wasn't for him, I probably would have never stepped foot in the ring to do any type of training or anything. So,
well, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned Sarge O'Reilly. I was talking to your dad. I don't know, probably almost a year or so ago. Now it was at an SPW show when they first started in Brownsville, and he was telling me about. If I'm not mistaken, Sarge kind of got him in the business too, didn't he?
Yeah. From what I've like some of the stories I've heard between him and Mark Justice, is what got him his start, which oddly enough is who started my training. So it kind of come all the way back around on the whole ordeal. So
yeah, well, look, we got another comment from. This is the comment I was looking at. Jacob Puckett. I don't like Zach. Well, I mean, everybody's got a right to their opinion, you know. I'll be honest with you, Zach. It's hard
to like me.
It's hard to be liked when you're a target and you got all the gold, man. I mean, it's just simple as that. Oh, hold on. We got the third generation SOB on here, and he's our guest. He's going to be our guest later tonight, and he says Zachary Bates. I don't know. I think y'all got a little something going on between y'all. I'm not privy to it, but what's going on there, Zach?
Well, considering that he vacated the NWF heavyweight title this past Friday, and the way he put it, he's gonna focus on tag gold. So I took advantage, man, and he doesn't like it. And then we had a run in at AWA. They were having a tournament for the heavyweight title, and I won. He didn't. And then shortly after that, I was in a triple threat match with him and John the Biscuit Roberts for the AWA heavyweight title. And once again, I kind of just went a step further, and I was the better man. And so it's been a back and forth thing. Every time I end up on a podcast, this is what I deal with. He always has something to say. So
yeah, he's always got something to say, man. That's for sure. Hey, I hope later on when I get him on here, he'll probably clam up then, won't have shit to say, man.
I don't know. I hope so, because I think it'll be funny to watch.
For me.
For me, it'll be very funny to watch.
Well, look, I'm going to let this up here for just a second, but we ain't into all that, all racial slurs. This ain't a racial slur. It's a... Just read it for yourself. Shit, I ain't even gonna read it. I will put it up for just a second. If it,
Mr. Jacob, listen. I'm gonna entertain your comment just to make.
Can you see it? Because it's not going up.
Yeah, I seen it.
Okay.
I'm gonna entertain his comment to make him feel better, and obviously he's watching. You can call me what you want. At the end of the day, I'm still the heavyweight champion for 2 different companies. I'm also one half of the tag team champions at another company, and there's more to come. So with that being said, I'm a very happy man. So I can be gay all you want me to be, but I am a very happy man. Okay.
There you go. Perfect explanation. Look, the third generation SOB's back, and he said, I got screwed twice.
I mean, you screwed yourself if you got screwed. That's all. I mean, that's all I know.
There you go. You heard that. Third generation SOB. The champ, the champ said what he said, man. Well, look, Zach, not only your dad is in the business, but you got a brother in the business too, right?
Yes, I have a forshoot brother.
Yes.
His name's Will. He's been in the business. I don't want to say as long as I have, but he come in. I want to say 4 years short of me. And then I expected great things out of him. He's a family man now, so.
Yeah. What's he got now? 2 babies?
Well, actually, he's got 2 and 1 on the way. Well, no, sorry, he's got 3 kids. He's got 2 little boys and a little girl, and then a little girl on the way as well.
Yeah, he been busy, huh?
Yeah, he caught up with Big Brother. So
hey, man, he's another guy, Will Sims. He's another dude from right around here in West Tennessee, man. That he's a talented guy, dude. I mean, really, he's super talented. He's another guy I kind of always thought I'd like to see him kind of break out of this area and see where he could take it to, man. He got a lot of talent. He's a good-looking young dude. I mean, he's good. He's really good in the ring, too. I like Will. I always have, man. Good talented dude. But let's get back to you, man. Now, look, you've got the NWF heavyweight title. You got the AWA heavyweight title. You got the tag team titles in TCW. Talk to us a little bit about the tag team match you had at TCW to win those titles, man. Tell us who you went against. And
it was Insane Dane and Isaiah Cone. Originally, when this all started, it was me and a guy that I consider my best friend. We went in to basically just demolish these 2 guys. Some things come up on his end, something in his personal life, and so we had to substitute and ended up doing the match. Them 2 guys, like, granted, I beat the hell out of them every time I stepped foot in the building itself, but if it's anybody else, I believe these 2 guys could stand, they could hold their own, if it's not against me or my partner. But, man, I mean, we made quick work of them, or at least tried to, and ended up with the 1, 2, 3, left Insane Dane laying in a puddle of blood, and we got out of there. Become the tag team champions, and we rolled out. So there's not really much I can tell you about the match itself.
Well, look, I was introduced to you at EIW and TIWF, basically, is where I first kind of got introduced to Zach Obrien. Man, right. you can kind of do it all in the ring, man. You can wrestle. You can fly too. Now, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that, I don't think, but you can fucking fly too, man.
Man, I have one move that I do that involves me flying, and that's a moonsault. So,
well, I mean, I've seen that you do the springboard moonsault, right?
Yeah,
man. It's sweet, dude. I've seen you hit that motherfucker a bunch of times. It's sweet, man. Look, right. Jacob Puckett says, "Do you still work at TIWF?"
On that, not weekly. I don't do weekly shows there. I have the last time I was there was for a benefit show that we did, which I enjoy being there. Anytime I'm there, I feel like I'm at home. But right now I'm out. I'm traveling. Doing my own thing, man. So.
Well, let me ask you this, Zach. Now that you're kind of out on the road and out there, how you liking it, man? How you like going around to these different companies, these different opportunities, man? I mean, obviously it's been successful for you, but how you like the road trips and stuff, man?
Man, I mean, I enjoy them. The only thing that gets me right now is I miss my kids. My son. I really miss my son while I'm gone. If he's not with me, that and man, I lose so much sleep being on the road. It's unreal. I think I've slept more this week than I have in the last month. So, yeah.
Yeah, you ain't getting no sleep as a working wrestler.
No, most definitely not. Most definitely not.
Here's the thing I don't think people realize is, all right, they think you have your match. Normally, you're through by 10, 11 o'clock with that. And then even if you don't do nothing else after, even if you go straight home or to the motel, which a lot of us traveled. So when you left one place, you traveled
straight to another one.
Went straight to another place. And you get very little sleep. And even if you could go straight home, say you're 10 minutes from your house, I don't know how you are, but I'm one of them guys. I mean, I'm amped up after a show. If I come straight home and my house ain't but 10 minutes from a show, it still takes me till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to kind of wind down and go to sleep,
Most definitely.
And then if you got to get back up on the road or catch a plane, either one, man, you got to be up. Sometimes you don't even go to sleep because it ain't worth it. It ain't worth trying to sleep.
I've done that a few times, so I understand that one. There's been times where I would come home, I drive 6-7 hours there, and then 6 or 7 hours back.
Yes.
And I'd get home, it'd be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I know I got to be up at 6 to head out for another one. I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay up. There's no sense in going to sleep because if I go to sleep, I'm not gonna wake up in time.
Yeah, it's a you don't get no sleep. It's a rough way of life anyway. But man, you really sacrifice a ton of sleep if you're out on the road wrestling, man. You just do. Look, Zach, tell me something. Who were some of your biggest influences in the wrestling business? Could be local or it could be some star. I mean, who did you kind of see yourself as or kind of take things from?
Like I said earlier, man, coming up in the business, my mentor was always Sarge. I spent a lot of my career with him. I spent the majority of my career with Sarge. So most definitely, a lot of my storytelling is it comes from him. And then from the very beginning, like I stated earlier, Mark Justice. Believe it or not, Mark Justice gave me my first chop when I was 16 years old. Kind of scary, but him, man, I grew up watching just Memphis wrestling every Saturday morning, so it wasn't necessarily just me watching the guys. It was like just me watching the show itself. So I'm not gonna say just anybody in particular. Just the business itself is what did it for me.
Yeah, I can understand that, dude. We done mentioned Sarge a couple of times, and you're not the only one, man. I run into so many people, especially up around this part of Tennessee, that Sarge has had a hand in training or helping or mentoring even. I mean, Sarge around here, I mean, he's had his hands on damn near everybody that's come through the wrestling business in this area, man.
I agree. I've been there to watch a lot of them come through the door. There has been a few that come in and went right back out. They just didn't make the cut. But then there has been those handful of people that come in. We all clicked just like we were born brothers. I still talk to a few of them even today. Um, I don't know, man. Like he has this. Well, let me rephrase. Let me put it this way. Sarge used to have this presence. He would scare the hell out of you, but you knew he had good intentions.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of us dealt with that Sarge. Now, I mean, he still has good intentions. He doesn't scare as many people anymore. So, but man, Sarge has helped a lot of us in a lot of different ways. And like I said, I owe a lot of what I know now to Sarge. Like that man put a lot of things in my head that probably wouldn't be in my head if it wasn't for me being around him. So
Yeah, man, Sarge has been around forever. He's worked with everybody,
yeah,
all the big Memphis names and people who come through. He's been in the ring with. And one thing about Sarge is, as talented as he is in the ring, he's just as creative. I
most
mean,
definitely.
he's highly creative, man, and that's one thing you need in pro wrestling. To me, creativity rules wrestling. It just
Yeah,
does. You know, you always got to be coming up with something new. You got to be coming up with something clever. You got to be coming up with something cool that people want to see, even if they don't know they want to see it. You know they want to see it. You know,
yeah,
and Sarge's influence has felt heavy around this part of Tennessee for sure, man. I mean, everybody I talk to, all you guys that have worked together and kind of growed up together in the business, everybody has a Sarge story and says the same thing. Sarge did this for me. He did that for me. You know, Sarge deserves a lot of credit for kind of shaping the wrestling business around this part of Tennessee.
hey, man, I couldn't agree with you more. There's I can name uh, me, Charlie Kingston, Rob Murray, Rob Danger, whatever you want to call them. And there's a few others, man. In my time with Sarge, it was a totally different crew than Charlie's time with Sarge or even Rob's time with Sarge. Like we had there were so many of us, but only so many would stick around. Um, to get the knowledge that Sarge was trying to give us, and the ones that did, we're trying to make something out of it, and I we could never thank him enough for the knowledge that he's given us at all.
Yeah, you know,
So
speaking of Charlie, man, to me, man, no longer in Charlie's really. I know he refereed some, but man, no longer, and he's been in the ring kind of full time going at this. Man, he's come so fucking far, and I mean, Sarge had a heavy input into that for sure.
most definitely. Oh, either I lost him or he lost me. I'm not really sure. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, I don't know what happened here. Hold on.
All right, see if I'm back on. Am I on? Okay. All right, y'all. Everything just shut down. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm waiting on Zach to log in. We're probably going to see if Luke wants to log on too here in a few minutes and just have them both on together since we kind of got interrupted. Uh, we'll see what's going on and see if we can't get them both on. I'm sorry about that, y'all. The whole thing shut down. I don't know what the deal was with it. Shut down completely. I couldn't get it to do nothing on my end, nothing at all. Just when the interview was going great, too. I hate that. All right, there we go.
What happened, man? What happened?
Dude, I don't know. It came a good rainstorm about 30 minutes before we went on the air here in Dresden, but it had passed. I don't know what happened. My whole computer, everything kind of just seized up, dude.
Man, I was on here by myself for like a good 2 minutes, and I was like, okay, guys, I don't know what to do. So
yeah, my wife had to come and tell me that I knew I had froze up and I couldn't hear you at all. And she came and told me that you were still on and she could hear you, but I was completely gone. And then you were gone. Look, man, I'm going to. It's 7:34. Luke's not supposed to log in until 7:40, and we'll get him on by 7:45. But we may just have to kind of keep both of y'all on, dude, if that's cool with you.
Oh man, that's fine with me.
All right, guys, for all y'all out there watching, thank y'all for coming back, sticking with us. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. It is what it is. It's live. It's the internet. It's the computer. I don't control none of that shit. Skynet's going crazy. So, all right, Zach, I don't even remember exactly where we were.
We just we were talking about the influence Sarge has had on people.
Yeah, and Charlie, we were talking about. I said something about Charlie and the influence on him, and
yeah,
and all you guys really. Sarge is his hand is heavy around this part of Tennessee for sure.
Yeah,
I mean his creativity, you can see Sarge's fingerprint all over the wrestling right around here. Well, look, man. So you're the AWA heavyweight champion. Won't you tell us about working for the AWA some, man? Tell us how you like it. Tell us what it's like there. Tell us what all the AWA's got going on, man.
Man, it's not a bad show. We've recently brought in a few guys that from New Jersey. Enjoyed sharing a locker room with them. But as a show as a whole, like, man, it's a good group of guys that are, excuse my language, busting their ass to make the whole show itself mean something. So
yeah,
it's not just an individual person doing this and this and this, but it's a big team effort on just about all of us.
And y'all are doing Blyville once a month right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you were talking about Mark Justice earlier and talking about him being the first guy to ever chop you. I mean, he's actually one of the brain trust at AWA, right?
As far as I know, yeah. He whether he's running anything or not, I mean that we really just go, like, everybody goes to him anyway. So yeah. Like he plays a big part in a lot of it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience, man. He's been around a long time, dude. Should be a real good locker room leader too, you know.
Most definitely.
And the NWF, man, tell us a little bit about the NWF and how you like working there and what's going on there.
Man, with NWF, it was kind of my first night there. It was kind of just a off the wall chance. Luke hit me up and said, "Hey, look, I got a show going on in Paragould. I want you to come." So I showed up. My first night there, I believe, yeah, my first night there, I tagged with Kilo, and we worked Mark Justice and TW Justice, um, and it went over very well. Um, I didn't win, of course, but I mean, I have a good time up there. Just like AWA, man, it's a good group. Like the locker room itself, it's a good group of people for the most part. You know, every show has that one person or those few people that want to be the bad seeds. But like we've come together. Both companies have come together quite a bit. Um, Trying to add a few others for this big thing we got coming up, Indie Mania.
Yeah, man, I've been seeing that. I've been well, I knew about it when it was just an idea.
Yeah.
And but it didn't have a name or nothing really then. But man, I've been seeing the stars that's going to be coming in and the different talents. It sounds like it's going to be a real big deal, man.
I honestly can't wait for it because a lot of the guys that are coming in are a few guys that I haven't seen in quite a while. There's a few guys that I've never actually shared a locker room with. So I really think that's the biggest goal is to try our best to bring everybody together. Different promotions, different superstars, just in general, man. And I think that's going to be it's going to be a good night or a good day, should I say.
Yeah, it's going to be what, a whole day thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be vendors and stuff there?
That part I don't know about. I do know that they're trying to get bouncy houses and stuff for the kids for that day. I believe the show is going to start at 6. So they're going to try to start early because there's a whole card lined up, and it's going to be a good day in general. It's something I can't wait for. I know my son really can't wait for it. He enjoys stuff like that. So
yeah, it's going to be good for the kids. Now it's going to be the same at the Blytheville old high school gym that y'all normally run.
That I'm not really sure of. I think so. I don't really remember exactly, but I believe it's the same place. I've shared the poster card for it all over my Facebook, and everybody else that's either on the show or has something to do with the show has shared it. So I mean, all the information will be on there. But I'm not sure if it's going to be in the same location or not, and I'm not really sure on whether there's going to be a price or not. There was some talk of us doing it for free. So
that's what I seen on one of the flyers I seen. Now I did see a flyer that said that, but
yeah,
you know, but I've seen a lot of stuff like y'all. There's a lot of talent coming in. Downtown Bruno's going to be coming in for it. I think Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert, I think's coming in. Reggie B. Fine. A lot of local talent from around the Mid-South area should be there too, man. It should be a big deal. We find out all the details when we get the man on here, the AWA Kingpin, the man with the pen. We'll find out all the little tidbits and the scoops, man. Look, you mentioned Kilo earlier. Now I had Kilo on last week, him and Autumn. And Kilo was mentioning that you and him's got a match coming up for heavyweight title.
Yeah. Saturday night or last Saturday, not this past Saturday, but Saturday before that. I was originally supposed to be in a tag match against the Littles, Little Hollywood and Bitty Little. And you know, once again, my partner for that match didn't show up either. I have a very bad record with tag partners, apparently. So I found a guy, man, and I thought he was the one, and ice pick, and 1, 2, 3 later, I was proven wrong. So
look, Kilo told me something last week, and I didn't know that y'all are kind of family too.
Yeah. Big Dave's um, Big Dave's sister-in-law is his aunt. And me and his kids all grew up together, and yeah, kind of.
Well, he told me, he said, even though, now this is Kilo's words, he said, even though y'all were family, he said he wasn't above putting a spanking on you now.
That's
Hey,
okay.
that's what he said, dude.
I've said it. I've said it numerous times, and I'll continue to say it. Um, I'm not as easy to beat as I may seem. Uh, I've put a lot of people down, and he's going to be no different. So,
Well, I mean, you don't get two heavyweight titles and a tag team heavyweight title without being hard to beat, man. It's just as simple as that, dude. You know.
by the way, from 2 to 4 on the Indie Mania thing, we'll be doing 2 to 4. The thing from 2 to 4 will be free, and that's for all kids, and it will be in the same location.
Okay. All right.
It was just confirmed, so.
Okay, that's the old Blytheville High School gym.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you are pretty well. That's turning into the home of the AWA.
Yeah.
Y'all's home base, you know.
Yeah.
Now the NWL, they run Paragould, and then sometimes they run Corning. Maybe is it Corning?
Yeah.
Okay. I know Ron real well. I've known Ron for 100 years or more. I don't know, man. A long ass time. But look, Zach, talking about, you know, what are you trying to accomplish here in the next couple of years? 3, 4, 5 years in pro wrestling, man. What's your? I mean, obviously your end goal is to make it to the big time. I would assume.
You know, a lot of people assume that, man. And if I get the chance and I get lucky to make it to companies like AEW or TNA, Ring of Honor, companies like that, I'm perfectly down for. As far as a lot of people they like to make the statement, oh, well, I'm trying to make it to the big TV. I'm trying to make it to the WWE.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I know who I am as a wrestler, and I don't want to go to a company that's not going to let me be who I am. And that's more of why I would choose AEW or Ring of Honor or something like that. But man, that's the goal. To get out to at least get my name out there enough to where people's talking. To take these bookings at companies like GCW, that company. Let's see, you got CZW, which I'm not really sure if they're still running. I've seen a few videos of recent shows, so I believe they are. I know one company that I haven't worked for that I've wanted to work for since they opened up would be CCW over there with Jason the Brain.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies, at least in our area, that I want to hit before I go anywhere else. Because there is a few companies that I haven't worked for, so I want to do the full circle, and hopefully, within the next 3 or 4 years, somebody recognizes me or my name get far enough that I get a phone call or an email or just anything to come and do some big shows for these big name companies. So
I understand that. Look, man, we got I hate to have to bring y'all on together, but with the technical difficulties, Luke's down here. Hey y'all, this is the AWA Kingpin, the man behind the mask. He's the all work, no ego, third generation SOB. I bring to you the one and only Luke Justice.
What's going on?
I don't know it, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Dude, we having technical difficulties today, man.
Yeah, you want it back?
I seen that.
Hey, Zach already hitting you with the question, man. He had the title there. He said, do you want it back, Luke?
Yeah, I do. Honestly, I do. But I'll come and get it when the time's right.
Well, look, Zach, we were just, before we get to you, Luke, me and Zach was just talking about the different companies and where you might want to work, and AEW came up, Ring of Honor, but a lot of companies around here, Zach, you were talking about you want to hit before you go anywhere else. I noticed you have done some shots for Bluff City Wrestling over the last couple of months, man. How did you like it?
Man, I enjoy being there. I mean, a lot of people have problems with the way that things are ran. I enjoy it. I was welcomed with open arms as soon as I walked through the door. Once again, it's a great group of guys for the most part, and I feel like they're trying to bring Memphis wrestling back. I have no problems with that at all. I enjoy it. I've had zero problems while there, as far as the business aspect goes.
Yeah.
And as far as being in the ring, I've been in the ring with 2 people since I've been there. It's always a good time to be in the ring with Jack Parker Jr. Always. And Jordy, Gordy, Gregory, whatever.
Yeah.
Jordy Randall.
Whatever his name is.
Whatever his name is, I'm the same way, dude.
The kid's got a good head on his shoulders. He needs to lose his attitude, and try not to outsmart me next time, I guess.
Yeah, he looks like he could be a little snooty. You
know,
a
little bit.
He looks like
he's a little uppity. So.
He looks like if he got caught out in the rain with his nose as high as it is, he might just drown sometimes, man. Well, Luke, look, man. You actually done a shot or 2 for Bluff City early on when they first opened. How was your experience there, man?
Same thing. They welcomed me with, open arms. V-Man hit me up at a Millington show one time for Greg James. Gave me his phone number. I really didn't get back with him in time because it was cotton season, and I'm really busy for cotton season because I work at the gym over here.
Yeah.
But I finally got back with him. I went down there and did a taping, and then work came back up. But it was. I was welcome with open arms. Me and Dotson, we had a falling out, but I'm pretty sure that we're back on. I have nothing but respect for him and what he's done for the business, and what he's trying to do for the business by bringing Memphis wrestling back, to the way it used to be.
Yeah, man, I like Johnny too. Me and Johnny don't see eye to eye on everything, but when you put us, even on computer, if you put us face to face talking, you can't help but like Johnny, man. It's just simple as that. You can't help but like him. I've always liked Johnny, man.
He's got a good heart for the business. He might let his mouth talk sometimes. He might get but he really does have a good head, and he's got a good mind for it, and he's just an overall great person to be around. Without the rest.
Johnny's kind of like if you ever watch Key and Peele, where the president had the interpreter, and that's what Johnny needs. Johnny needs to say his shit and then have somebody interpret that shit over. So it's not as politically incorrect, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, that's what wrestling's all about, man. First Amendment, speak your mind, speak your piece. We're not all going to agree. I mean, it's just always like that. We all got different opinions. We all have different views on shit, and that's what makes the world go round, man. I mean, we ain't. If we were all the exact same, the world would fucking suck, dude. It's simple as that, man.
I agree.
Well, look, Luke, we want to know about the AWA, man, and you're the man to talk to. Tell us about the AWA. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what y'all got coming up. Tell us who's there, man. Tell us. I know you got the scoop, man. Breaking news.
For Indie Mania, you were cutting out. Is that what you're talking about for Indie Mania?
Well, Indie Mania, I know that's coming up, but anything y'all got coming up, tell us about the AWA period, man.
We're just trying to give guys a place to bump. You know what I mean? I think that's a good thing. Like Zach said, I think we have a locker room of guys, you know, and guys and gals, as you would put it. You know, overall, we're great. Great locker room, great atmosphere. Um, we do everything as a whole, like Zach was saying. Like everything is not just one person. It's, you know, everybody has, you know, um, it's a team. It's a team effort, of course. Um, we had Bullwhip Ballard the last show. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I like Bullwhip, man.
He's a stiff ass mother. Oh my gosh. Jaden Staley. He's from Shore Star Wrestling up in New Jersey. I go up there a lot. Pete Corvus. Uh, there's a lot. You know, we bring in a lot of, you know, new faces. It's the fresh of breath air, as you would call it.
Yeah, man, I noticed that. You not only go to Jersey, but I've seen a couple of your matches out of Texas, man.
Yeah, I go over there for Sir Mo.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I'm telling you, you seem to get over at these places, dude. I've definitely seen 2 Texas matches, I'm pretty sure, and I think I've seen at least one of your Jersey shows you did. And
Yeah.
man, the crowd seems to love you, man. You know,
Yeah.
they
Go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
Fisher.
no, go ahead, dude. I'm just saying, sometimes it's hard to go completely out of your comfort zone and out of your area and still get that kind of fan reaction, man. What do you think about that, man? How does that feel, man?
It feels, honestly, it feels amazing. You know, a lot of guys in our area are afraid of being little fish in big pond. But see, that's not a problem for me, because if I'm going out here and I'm being this little fish and all these big, you know, these other big ponds and, you know, stuff like that, as you would say, um, you know, it's getting my name out there. It's doing what a lot of guys don't do, and that's travel a lot out of their areas because they're scared to be a little fish in a big pond. You know.
Yeah, man, it's better to be. Here's the thing about being a little fish in a big pond. It's all good being a little fish in a big pond. Just be quick enough not to get ate, man. If you
Right.
don't, if hey, here's the thing: if you don't get ate, eventually you're gonna be the big fish in that big pond, you know. But if you don't, I'm like you. I see so many guys that it's like they're scared to get out of their comfort zone. They've got their territory, their place, they're comfortable working at, and they get to the point where sometimes I think it's almost they're scared they're not going to get the reaction somewhere else that they get here from their
Right.
hometown fans and stuff. And if you don't go, you're definitely not going to get any reaction from any fans, you know.
Right.
Zach, what's your take on that, man? Last time me and you talked, you had said something to me about hoping to get a chance to go to Jersey or maybe even Texas, dude.
Man, I agree. I agree 100%. There's a lot of guys around here that, I mean, they're big fish in little ponds, and they don't want to expand and go to these big ponds. You know, I've got opportunities still coming up to travel to Jersey and Texas. Finances kept me from going to the last few chances that I had.
Yeah.
After I get everything taken care of that I've got going on, that it's in the plans. That's some of the other places that I plan on hitting. So,
well, Luke, I'm assuming this is for you. Just in case says go to Texas and stay. I don't know you. You got some.
He's irrelevant.
You got some heat with that dude, man.
No, he's just an irrelevant asshole sometimes.
Damn. I didn't know he was gonna get that. I didn't know he was going that personal with it, man.
Dude, I love Scotty. You know, he really has helped me. You know, when EIW was open, he really did help me a lot. With a lot of stuff. You know, pushing me and then American Hostile. You know, whenever they were open and I was working there, he was pushing me there too. So Scotty's a really good guy. A lot of people don't like his opinions, but that goes back to saying that's what, you know, this country is built off of opinions. You know, it's
Dude,
just
Dude, I know about people not liking your opinions, man. So that ain't nothing new to me, you know. But one thing I've been noticing about you, you've kind of changed your look and stuff over the last few years.
Yeah.
When I first met you, you was a little more clean cut, and then you kind of went with the dark hair and stuff, and you kind of went blonde and stuff now with a little dark beard. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first seen you, I thought, what the fuck? But after watching you and it's had time to grow on me, I think you're on to something, dude. I like the look. I do. I like the vest. Only thing I don't like, man, you got to get rid of the half shirt, dude. You got to lose the half shirt, my man. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. But other than that, it took me a little bit for the new look to grow on me, but I'm digging it, dude, man. I think it's working for you, and I think I think it's helping you go a lot of places, man. You seem to, you're really getting out there. I mean, going to New Jersey, Texas is one thing, but going all the way out to Jersey, man, that's a whole nother world. Texas is kind of like here. Wrestling's kind of similar, but you up there, it's a totally different animal, a totally different thing, man. So I'm glad you're putting yourself out there, dude. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it ain't like me and you've always seen eye to eye either, but I'm proud of you, dude, because a lot of people won't do that. You don't never know where you can get to unless you go try to get there, man.
Yes.
And it's as simple as that. And I commend you for, I know it's costing you. I know it's costing you to go out to these places because that's just the wrestling business.
Sacrifice.
You got to work your shoot job to be able to pay to go to these damn shows. But that's what it takes, man. That's what it takes to one day maybe pick up that phone call and it be that contract sitting there waiting on you, you know. If guys don't go out and try, they never know. And you'll always be in the same spot if you don't move forward, man.
Yeah.
It's like Zach. We were talking, man. Zach's been one of the best kept secrets around West Tennessee since the last 3 years I've been around, and I'm sure before that, I just became familiar with him over the last few years. But, dude, from the first day I seen him, I knew that, fuck, man, this guy here needs to get out and go somewhere else, get his name out there and make some moves because the talent's there. There's a lot of guys around here like that, man. They've got a lot of talent, but you just got to get out there and show it to people.
See, like, whenever I go to Jersey and stuff, money, people always ask me, like, what type of money am I making? It's not very much, but
right.
Like you're saying, this business is built off sacrifice. If you're not sacrificing, you're not doing it right.
Hey, this business is built on dreams.
Yeah.
The pro wrestling business is built on dreams. All the talent, 99% of the talent, all of us, most of us this is all we've ever wanted to be.
Yeah.
Ever. From the first day you found it, I don't care. For me, I don't never remember not having pro wrestling in my life. It's one of my first memories, you know.
Right. With my granddad being Mark Justice, I've been around like Zach. I've been around it my whole entire life. My dad was a wrestler. Mad Money Mike, he's my uncle. Apex Matt, that's my cousin. Dude, I've been around it pretty, like I said, my whole freaking life.
Hey, I didn't know you and Apex Matt were cousins, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, man.
That's can we book that kid so I can beat him up?
Yeah.
Does he even wrestle anymore? I hadn't seen Apex. I see him on Facebook ever so often, but never nothing to do with wrestling, man.
He's become a family man.
I knew he had the baby and stuff, and it happens, dude.
Yeah.
Look, wrestling's built on dreams. It don't pay off until it pays off. If it pays off, and that's just the reality of it, man. Look, Bat Raster said you guys in the business are bringing it, risking injuries and all for the fans like me. Y'all are greatly appreciated. I know these guys appreciate you, Bat Raster. We appreciate you for watching the show, man.
And yeah, we greatly appreciate you fans like that, because without you guys, we wouldn't be shit.
That's the truth, man. That's the truth. I think too many guys forget that you get out there, you get over a little bit, and then you got to watch guys, man. It ain't hard for somebody's head to swell up like a fucking hot air balloon.
It's definitely not hard.
Look, you could be the superstar in one little town for 200 people, and you think you're fucking Hulk Hogan from the 1984. You know what I mean? It just is, man.
I know a lot of fuckers like that.
Bat Rastard come back and says no one's tougher than the Southern guys, and I'm with him on that too. I'll be honest with you. I like all types of wrestling, all styles, from all different places. But I feel like that when you grow up down here working the style we worked,
you're a different breed.
I think so too. I think, look, there's a reason why every single big giant star from the 70s and 80s came down here to work, because this is where it's at. This is where you really learn how to work. You know, I mean, you got to work every night. Back in the day, you worked every night of the week in a different place, but in the same town once a week, you know? So
yeah, I remember like being young, and, you know, my granddad, you know, they used to travel Kentucky, Mississippi, Florida, you know, all these other places. And I remember like, we'll go from here, here, and here. He might have 2 or 3 shows in one day, and then the next day do it all over again. Then Sunday do it all over again. You know, wrestling is a lot different nowadays.
It is.
It's changed. I don't know if it's in a good way or if it's changed in a bad way. You know.
Ah, man, I think it's a double-edged sword, honestly.
Right.
I think some parts of it are better. I think some parts of it are worse. But there ain't nothing you can do about that. You got to play the game on the field that there is. You got to play the game on the board that's laying in front of you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hear so many guys talk about wanting to change pro wrestling.
Not going to happen. It's been tried. Dude, like a lot of people have tried to change pro wrestling. It's not ever going to change.
Here's the thing. My advice for those guys is to stop worrying about changing pro wrestling and learn how to play the game. The only way you can change this business is to learn how to play the game and become such a success that you have the ability to help change this business.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the bare facts of it. Quit trying to change it, learn how to play it, and be as successful as you possibly can at it, because it's not all in the ring.
No.
It's really, to me, the in the ring part's probably 10% of pro wrestling. The rest of it is in the back. The rest of it is all the politicking, all the who's running this town, what company's working here, who's working for that company. It's always been that way, and I don't see it ever changing, y'all.
Right. I don't either, to be honest.
I mean, Zach, you've been in it a good while, man. How has it changed for you just since the time? Has it changed much since the time you broke in?
Man, it has. It's changed a lot. Yes, there's always been territory dilemmas. There's always been, well, I'm running here, so why would you run the same night in the same place? But now it's to the point to where, like, the whole politic thing, if we run the same state, but I run Friday night, but none of my guys can work for you, and none of your guys can work for me, and it happens everywhere.
It happens.
It's stuff like that, man, has really changed the business a lot.
And then like a lot of when I first got in November of 2013. Yes, I honestly been doing this for 10 years, but I don't count a lot of that shit. But a lot of guys nowadays don't want to go get. They want to wait. Like when I was breaking in, you seen guys go here, and go here, and go here. You know, it's not like that no more.
Yeah. It's you know, here's my thought on it. I understand the politics when there's hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on the line in the big giant companies that make their living, and not just make their living, they employ hundreds of people, not just talent, but staff, office people, ring crew, people to set up the stages and everything. I understand the politics when you're at that level, but you just never would believe until you get in it that the politics in the level like we all are in is just as fucking bad, if not worse. And everybody's fighting for the same little old slice of the pie.
Yeah.
You know, if you got 40 people and you got one slice of pie and everybody wants their cut, then nobody's really getting shit in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just crazy, dude. Like I said, I can understand when millions of dollars are on the line, TV ratings and all that bullshit. But, I mean, people don't believe how it is in real life in the indie circuit, man. I ain't so sure that most of the time on the indie circuit, the politics is not worse than it is in the big time places. Because, I mean, everybody's a politician on the indie circuit. Everybody has an ear to the booker. Everybody has an ear to the owner, the promoter.
No matter who you are, you can deny it all. Still got you still in that ear. You're still playing that money.
You know, and the sad fact of it, like I said, there ain't really no money in it until there is money in it. You know, it's as simple as that. It's a dream. It's kind of like being a musician and wanting to be a rock star. If that's the path you choose, you go out, you do just like we do. You go get booked in clubs and different places. You go out on the road in a shitty ass van, no money, 7 of you piled in a little fucking minivan with all your instruments. But it's all built on the dream of, hey, one day we'll make it. One day somebody will see us and we'll get that big call. And it happens, man. I don't like people in the when I broke in the wrestling business, there was a lot of older veterans that would, I mean, they would flat out discourage you. Try to about being a pro wrestler. If you got in this to make a lot of money and be famous, you should get out now. Well, I don't adhere to that same principle. Even though 99% of the time it turns out to be the truth. But you can't discount the few that make it out. Look at Blake Christian. I mean, honestly, he's from right here. Any one of you guys could be Blake Christian in a year or two. Could be the next Blake Christian. I mean, he's seen what he wanted. He chased the dream, and now he's realizing it, you know?
Yeah.
Don't ever let nobody discourage your dreams. Even life. Look, thing about dreams is, before you achieve them, most of the time you get kicked in the face 1,000 fucking times. But you got to keep going after that same dream. Look, we're all still chasing the dream. You know?
One way or another.
I'm out here doing this fucking podcast, putting fucking old-ass videos on YouTube, still chasing the pro wrestling dream. My dream has shifted from in-ring to what I'm doing now, but I'm still chasing the same fucking dream that every one of you guys are, man. It's, you know, and Luke, I mean, like you said, you're a third-generation guy. Your grandfather, your dad was a wrestler. Now, you've grown up in the business. Kind of give us an insight of what it was like for you growing up, being born into a wrestling family, pretty much, man.
Busy. I tell you that. Like I said, we're going from one show to another. I think literally like the day I was born, I got out that night. I was literally at a show. It was like show, like busy again. You know, but it's been fun. You know, you've seen a lot of places. You know, met a lot of people. Yeah, took a lot of chops. It's been a hell of a ride. You know, being born into a wrestling family, but it was a good thing. You know, because I've been around it. So honestly, like, you know, me not having as many years into it. You know, like a few years ago, me and Pops were talking about this. I don't know everything, but I probably know about as much as 99% of every locker room that I'm in because I've been around this shit my whole entire fucking life.
Yeah, you absorb it, man. You absorb it for sure, man. I didn't have that luck. I wasn't born into no wrestling family. I learned everything I fucking know the hard way. Every experience I know, I learned because I made that fucking mistake. You know, I did, dude. Fuck,
Yeah.
can't nobody ever say shit. I ain't gonna sit there and lie to nobody. I made it damn near every mistake there was to make in the fucking wrestling business. Learning how to navigate the wrestling business, learning what it's really about. Because when most young guys get in, you're still in the mindset. If my talent's good enough and I'm good enough, I'll get there. It'll happen. I'll get noticed. And you don't realize what kind of monster the wrestling business is until you get inside it and you start seeing how it's actually played. And
Yeah.
I mean, look, a lot of people get things they don't deserve, and a lot of people don't get the things that they do deserve in the wrestling business.
You know, one thing really like pisses me off is, just because I'm born into it, people say, you're only here and here because of so and so, but in reality, I'm out here busting my ass and doing what I got to do to get where I got to get. You know what I mean?
That's the one.
Well, here's the thing. Take Jeff Jarrett. People want to say that. Well, he got his break because of who his daddy was. Well, that may be true. That door might have got cracked open because of who his daddy was. But the fact of the matter is, he still had to have the talent, the drive, the heart, and the will to make it in this business. His daddy couldn't make it for him. He could give him the opportunity, but he had to grab the fucking ball and run with it. And I don't like that either. Well, you get this because, and sure, there are people that get spots they don't deserve because, but there are a lot of people who were born into the wrestling business that had to work harder than everybody else to make it just because they had something to live up to already. Me, I started with a blank slate in the wrestling business. It is what I made it. You know what I mean? But you already had a lineage. Same thing with Zach. He already had a lineage kind of in the wrestling business. I mean, you already have something to you have to live up to. And, I don't think people realize what kind of pressure that puts on people.
You're right. You're exactly right on that.
Well, look, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man. You go ahead.
And I already have a lot of pressure on me, from all the, the quote unquote heat that I have in the Mid South, which it's nothing but a thing. I don't care. But like that really is one of my biggest fucking pet peeves is people saying that, and then, like the list, the top 10 list, shit like that. Sorry, I'm everywhere, but I don't really
never
care.
Speaking of that list, I am not on anybody's list, and I really don't give
I know it's just a fucking made up list, but it still kind of irks me because a lot of the guys on the list aren't out here busting their fucking ass every fucking day, and learning and doing this. They want to stay in one spot, and I'm out here going to fucking Jersey making $75 when it takes me 200 to get there.
Yes.
5 plus hotel, and then food and I'm going to Texas for $50 and it's costing me $400 in fucking travel. I don't see a lot of guys fucking doing that. That just irks my fucking nerves.
Yeah, well, like you said, you go to Jersey, you make 75, but you had to work a whole fucking week just to pay for that trip for real shoot job.
Yeah,
and that's the dedication. Look, that makes me think of somebody. I don't know. I'm sure y'all know who he is. Danny Brown Jr.
Yeah,
DJ Brown. Look, let me tell you something. That kid gets all my respect in the world because when I first started doing this, that kid would go to Texas and he'd go to different places. And you know how he got there? He got his ass on a Greyhound bus and would leave and ride the Greyhound bus out to where he had to be, do his show, ride the bus back. Man, right there. And look, me and Danny, his dad, broke in the business about the same time. I worked with Danny through the whole time I was in wrestling. So I know what kind of family he comes from, but very few have that. There's very few guys that would do that, would say, hey, There's guys that would have their own car and spend their own money to get there, but very few would say, hey, if the only way I can get there is fucking jump on a Greyhound bus and do it, there's very few that would do it. They'd say, well, I'm just going to pass on this one. When, hey, that trip on that Greyhound bus, you could have just passed on the opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, it's just the way it is, dude. And that kid gets all my respect in the world because I've seen him do it time after time, you know. And you know, when you go out and work hard for your money, and then you have to turn around and spend that to go somewhere just to work somewhere new, to try to get your name out there, to get new contacts, to get different people to see you, just to try to make something happen. I got all the respect in the world for anybody who does that, man. Wrestling's a hard fucking business. Here's the thing: when I broke in, the one thing that everybody would tell you, wrestling's a rich man's sport.
It is.
I mean, it costs a lot of money, and the reason they tell you that is because they already know that unless you make it to the big time, you don't make no money. You put in, most of us put in way more money than we ever get back out of it. You know, and that's just,
dude. Like when I went to Jersey in March, I went down there, dude. My own dime. I ended up spending damn near $1,000 of my own money just going down there because I paid for a hotel. That was like
boot,
food, $200 for gas.
Got booted.
Another $250 because I got my fucking car booted. dude, it's
so. Let's go on and forget the wrestling. Let's talk about this boot, man. So, where the fuck did you park to get a boot, man?
So, I went to a deathmatch show in Newark. XPW, you probably know Rob Black.
Yeah.
He runs up there. I went up there. You know, it was a fucking amazing show. Those guys get my respect. But I parked in this like garage next door. I didn't know I had to pay $50 to park there. And dude, I was helping with cleanup and shit. You know, I helped clean up after the matches and shit. Now I got told, hey, go get some hand sanitizer and get some gloves out of the car. I went out there. Fucking, I thought somebody was fucking me. I thought somebody just put some like, you know, some type of shit underneath my car. You know how it is with wrestling, ribs and shit. But then I seen in the window there was this fucking slip. I walked back in there. I walked in with my dad. I was like, yeah, you told me to get hand sanitizer, but look what I walked back in with. A fucking slip that we got booted. It was like, oh, fuck. But the guy that runs up there, Chad Mins, outstanding guy, you know, great promoter, pushes his shit, pushes his guys. He helped me pay for it a little bit, you know. He was like, hey, I'll help you out. Just get your own hotels when you come back up here. So, all right, that's fine with me. But yeah, dude, it was. But other than that, I had a good time besides getting fucking booted.
Damn, man. There went that fucking night's work, huh?
Yeah.
Just come up here and got booted. I basically came up here and paid to work for free, man.
Well,
hey, you ain't the only one that shit like that's happened to, man. I've been lucky, but I've seen fucking cars towed and all kind of shit, man.
Right. When I went up there, it was supposed to be for like a tryout for another independent show. There's a lot of that shit that goes around up there. You have to come up there and try out. They were having this showcase. Zach was supposed to go with me, but you know, due to financial stuff, he had to back out or whatever. But I didn't make it in time. We ended up driving like 20 hours, and it's supposed to be a 15-hour drive. Traffic and shit, fog. Yeah, I pretty much spent fucking $1,000 or more on that trip just alone.
Yeah, I can believe that, man. I don't doubt that for one bit, dude. Wrestling's a rich man's sport, man. It's as simple as that, dude. It is. Well, look, guys, let's talk about Indie Mania some. Luke, tell us about. I know y'all got a bunch of stars coming in. I've seen Bruno. I've seen Reggie, Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert.
Derek King's gonna be there.
I've seen that too.
Sarge.
Guys,
seen
I'll
that.
be right back.
Okay.
Biscuit's gonna be there.
Biscuit from here, John Edwards.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Okay.
there. I'm waiting on a few others to confirm. Like I said, we're starting at 6. We're having the free event for kids from 2 to 4. Bouncy houses have been confirmed. Face paint, meet and greet with all the superstars will be free. So there you go with that. Front row will be 25. I think that comes. Like I guess it's VIP, whatever you want to call it. We're still working out the stuff with that. Ringside is just second and third row is $20. General admission's 12. Dude, it's gonna be a hellacious show. It's gonna be a good show.
Now this show's to help St. Jude's, if I'm
Yes.
thinking right.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a fundraiser for St. Jude.
Okay, that's a good thing, man. It's look.
We had
go ahead.
March. That was our second show that we've ever had in Belival. Was in March. It was for St. Jude. We ended up raising like over $3,000 for St. Jude. Everybody, like we got sponsors before, to help pay for the building, the ring, the talent. We pretty much put everything that was left over plus the $3,000 towards St. Jude. Everybody got a good payday.
I had a blast.
Had a fucking blast.
Had a blast.
Over 600 people there.
Yeah, I seen that. What was that? But about 2.5 months ago or so now, maybe 3.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I seen the pictures of some of the shots of the crowd. Really, really good fucking crowd, man. Been a long time since I'm pretty sure been a long time since that many wrestling fans have been drawn to Blytheville, man.
Yeah, it's a hard crowd to draw. I think it's just because it hasn't been around in so long. I think the last time wrestling was there was at the Legion.
Last time I was in Blytheville, we were still doing the Armory.
The Armory.
So the 2000, 2001 or 2, maybe we're still doing the Armory, man.
I know there's been shows that have ran in Blytheville before, or they're supposed to be, but it really is a hard crowd to draw. Nobody sponsors like they used to. It's fun. Like, dude, running my own show. A lot of guys run their own show to put their self over. I run my show to put other people over. Other people that never got a chance at other shows, people that never, really got booked anywhere beside, you know what I mean? I like giving people chances and opportunities. And it doesn't matter who you are. If you work for AWA, you're going to find yourself in a top spot.
Well, speaking of top spots now, I know on this India Mania, you're going to have your heavyweight champion on the card. We got any idea who the heavyweight champion is going to be facing?
I got something. We got something in store for Mr. Zach right there.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a good show. We got some good for you. I don't know if you're gonna be walking out from that one.
I will.
It's a guy that's been around this area. Started with Moondog Championship Wrestling. He's been around this area for a long while.
I kind of got an idea, but I ain't gonna say it because I don't want to spoil it for y'all. So if I was right, man.
Listen. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna walk out holding this right here, and I'm gonna tell you now. And I know this is on YouTube, so everybody can hear it. After that day, I'm still gonna walk out as the AWA Heavyweight Champion. I
never know.
I did it every week. It's not gonna stop.
You never know. Like with the talent that comes through AWA, like we've had trouble in the past with talent. Zach can attest to that. We just had to cut 4 other people. due to them not, meeting their quota, I guess you could say, in wrestling. I don't know how you put it. But the talent that comes through AWA is amazing. There's a lot of generational wrestlers. There's a lot of veterans, newer talent. We like to give everybody a chance. At least once or twice.
Well, let me ask you this, Luke. Is the goal for AWA to pick up more towns down the line and kind of branch out and start running the territory in different spots a little more?
Me and TW have been in talks. We're trying to not only expand in Arkansas, but expand outside of Arkansas. Me and him talked today about possibly doing something in Florida, Panama City, in Texas. We're to expand outside, but still stay in our region. Where we have our fans that have supported us since February that aren't able to get out and go to other shows, and support us.
Well, I can see Texas because you got some connections. Do y'all have some connections to wrestling in Florida?
No, we're just gonna try to wing it. We might make a trip down there 1 week just for a day or two, just to flyer and get. I mean, if we don't get sponsors, there's always you got to pay to play, and we'll come out of pocket.
Yeah, that's shit, man. That's what running wrestling shows really are. You got to really go out and work your ass off to get sponsors, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
It seems to be harder nowadays than it was, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard. It's always been hard to get sponsors. Now look, if you're on TV, you got a good TV, good pro wrestling TV show, it's not as hard to get sponsors. But when you're a local show and you're trying to get sponsors, it's hard, man. You got to really go out. You got to go back. You can't just get told no once and then be done with it. You got to be told no, and then a month or two later, go right back and ask the same person, hey, man, what do you think about now, man? It's been a little while. Won't you think about maybe sponsoring one of our shows and see how you like it? It's hard, dude.
I pester a lot of people every day about sponsoring. I mean, I get the same answer, but, that just goes to show, like, hey, these guys are, they're on it. They want us to sponsor. Maybe we can work something out down the road. You know what I mean? That just goes to show that you're out here doing the footwork and you're putting the work in, and you're trying to bust your ass and get sponsors and you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Look, Bat Raster says real talk with real wrestlers. I love it. Bat Raster, we appreciate you watching, man. We hope you tune in every week, dude. We try to bring the best talent from around the Mid-South area on here week after week. And this is a full AWA show pretty much here because there are no other guests from no other company. You know what I mean? Oh, shit, hold on. We got Charlie Kingston. We was talking lurking. We was talking about him earlier. He's lurking. Charlie, we see you, man. Everybody knows who you are, man.
Well, speaking of expanding, I'm in talks with a guy from Jersey. I speak on Jersey a lot because I have a good experience of going there. I met a lot of people. I met Sting through them, Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, Simon Dean. A lot of connections up that way because there's a lot of big names on every single card you go to.
Yeah.
But I'm in the talks with the guys from Jersey now about doing a possibly AWA versus Shore Star Wrestling show. And then they bring in a few big names. We bring in a few big names. I remember one time I seen a card of theirs. They brought in Sting and Goldberg, and I think they had them work main event.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. Like a lot of the big names are from up in that area.
Hey, the show versus show thing seems to be pretty popular right now. It seems to be you're on the You're on the low end of it right now. Now's a good time to get in. Look here, last month, a matter of fact, Premier Pro in New South up here in Dyer, Tennessee. Man, they had a hell of a show, dude. And it was, look, as a fan, all right, I go to a lot of wrestling, film a lot of wrestling, and you know how wrestling is when you're there all the time. You know, a lot of times you kind of get bored, even if the show's killer. If you're there once, twice a week, every week, it can get where you kind of half-ass pay attention. This was a show I found myself watching like a fan because you not only had the Premier Pro roster, you had the whole new. It was like a whole complete another roster showed up at your arena, and then every match was company versus company. Worked out good, man. They drawed a hell of a crowd. Man, had some awesome matchups. I'd love to see that, Luke. I'd love to see y'all do a joint show with somebody like that. Anybody, man, that's a good reputable company. I think it's the thing going on, man. I know New South that work with Premier Pro on that. They do a lot of those. You know, they do a lot. I know they do them with GCW and other places. I see their posters all the time. I like that idea, Luke. I think it'd be something to really give a go to, man.
I think the reason I like doing the idea is because it not only gets our company out, but it gets our guys out too. Because if they come down here, we're gonna have to go back up there,
right?
Them out, and then you never know who's watching up there. And there's a lot of contacts, and like I said, a lot of contacts up that way. So
yeah, it's definitely good exposure for our talent around here because I mean I'm sure they got some sort of TV coverage or something that goes right into New York.
yeah,
So I back in the day, New York's who you was worried about seeing any of your shit.
right.
So
And
go ahead, Luke.
like I don't know how to say it, but I gotta when I went up there, I want to push my guys. I'm not we're not like the average wrestling company where we just push ourselves. I want to push not only our company, but I want to push our guys. It would be great to see Zach Obrien in fucking New York working for Shore Star or wrestling on Kurt Hawkins' show, or Dylan or Autumn, a lot of the veterans probably won't go, but it's a good thing for our younger talent.
Yeah, it is, man. It's just like Zach, man. It's hard to go that far for anybody, really.
Yeah,
It just is. That's a lot of money to spend when you got a family at home, and if you go spend all this money, then that's going to short your bills for the week or for the month. It's hard, but it'll happen, man. It'll happen. Look, all it takes is one guy to get out there and do good and make the connection and kind of open up the door. The better you go out there and do, the better the next guy that you bring up there, he's going to have a better opportunity.
Right.
Well, look, guys, we're fixing to have to start wrapping it up. But before we get off here, Zach, why don't you tell everybody around what you got coming up, man, what shows you're going to be on, and then tell everybody, these promoters, how they can get a hold of you if they want to book you, man.
Well, I know at least as far as this weekend goes, Friday night I will be in Middleton, Tennessee for MIW. And then Saturday night I will be back in Dixon at the Dixon VFW. After that, it's in the air. I have other bookings that I'm taking that I've got to do, but man, Facebook is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. Just send me a private message, email, anything like that. I answer just about everything. But yeah, promoters, man, like I'd love to come work for your company. Anything to do more ring time is what I do. So That's about it, man.
Well, Zach, man, I appreciate you coming on, giving me your time, dude. I'm sorry about the little technical difficulties we had. I appreciate you sticking with me.
That's no problem.
For a minute there, I didn't think we were gonna get on, man. My whole shit froze up. I didn't think we were gonna get back on. I was just fixing to send y'all messages and tell you, guys, I guess we'll have to reschedule because I didn't think it's gonna work. And then my wife come in here and she did some control alt delete shit and kind of rebooted the computer. And here we are, dude. Zach, I appreciate you, man. Don't hurt
No
your back
problem.
toting all that gold, man. And you have a good night, my brother.
You too, man. I'm gonna try not to. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night.
Take it easy, Zach.
You too.
All right, Luke. We got a few minutes left. I had a few minutes with Zach by himself. Just me and you now. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about what you got coming up, man. I know you got AWA shows. You got any more Texas bookings?
Yes. So tomorrow night I will be Jackson, Tennessee, Pro Wrestling Mid-South. If any of y'all are in the area, come on out and check that out. Saturday night I'll be in Dixon, Tennessee for TCW. I got this Friday off, so I'm gonna savor it and heal up for Saturday. Then next week, I'm back at Pro Wrestling Mid-South. Saturday I'm in Texas. The week after I'm back in Dixon, and then I'm in I got Blyville the next week after that, and then I'm back in Jersey. So
damn, son, you getting out there, man. You got a lot of stuff coming up, man, in a lot of different places. It's one thing to just have a few shows around here, but I mean, you got shows coming up a little bit of everywhere, man. I'm glad to see that, dude.
It's fun. But you know how it is sometimes. You get burnt out.
Dude,
I don't think I've had a weekend off in a while.
Shit, man, you too fucking young to be burnt out already, man.
I know.
Man.
I know. My granddad tells me that all the time, but I'm like, man, it's just so we all have our days, I guess.
Dude, that's the wrestling business, man. Look, all of us get burnt out repeatedly. I got burnt out over and over until finally in like 2002. That's when I finally just decided, well, fuck it, I'm done with it for a while.
Yeah.
Well, at the time I was done with it, period. And then I made a little comeback in 2009, and I figured out within a couple of months of that I just wasn't into it. My mind, I wasn't into it mentally. And I just now, man, over the last few years, since I've been doing this, the filming and shit kind of got me back into wrestling, kind of relit the fire, kind of give me a new goal. My in-ring wrestling career is done. It had its opportunities. It's over, but this kind of give me a new lease on life in the wrestling business, man. But look, like I said, over the past just the 3 years since I've been around, man, I've seen you grow a lot from where you were when I first met you to where you are now. What do you attribute to that, man? Do you think it's just you're getting older and more mature, or what do you attribute a lot of that to, man?
I think it's like you said, just getting older and getting mature, and my granddaddy sets me straight a lot on a lot of shit. So I pretty much learn every day, with him being old school as it gets, I learned something about wrestling every day being around him. I think that's what kind of just like, he's like, hey, tone it down. I really did have an ego. I used to be no work, all ego when I first started. But being around guys like him and Rude really did help me, humble me. That's what really got my mindset going. Like, hey, like I got something going here. Like, let me shut the fuck up and just get to work.
Yeah, man, you got the talent, dude. I seen that from the first couple of times I seen you, man. Like I've said it on the podcast when it first started. I think early on, Luke kind of got in Luke's way more than anything else.
Yeah.
And I don't see that now, man. I see you, like I said, you seem to have matured. Your work, man, your work's really shining to me. I'll be honest with you. to me, your work in Texas and New Jersey, I like watching you there better than I do here.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what it is about it, but there just seems to be something different about you. I feel like you've got something to prove when you're at those places more than you do when you're down here working.
I do. And when I'm at those places, I got that little chip. I
There
got that
you
little
go.
chip on my shoulder. There's people back home that's doubting me, and I don't pay no attention to it anymore. Hate on me all you want, but you can't say I'm not out here busting my ass. I feel like I have that chip on my shoulder, and I have something to prove to everybody, including myself. I think I become a different breed when I'm out of state and I'm at those places.
I can see it, man. I can see the difference in your whole demeanor on those shows. And it's good. Look, here's the thing. It's good to have a chip on your shoulder. This is pro wrestling. It's good to have an ego. You just got to know where to keep that ego. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't let that ego get out of hand. Because it can cost you.
Yeah, it can.
It can cost you opportunities that you didn't even realize that you were maybe even in line for.
Right.
Invisible opportunities that you never seen coming, it can cost you. And man, like I said, I love watching the stuff from out of state with you, dude. I see the intensity's there. The like I said, man, you get a fucking great reaction from these fans. Even New Jersey, man, that was the one that Texas. I kind of expected it because I mean, the fans are similar. Wrestling's similar here in Texas. But in New Jersey, I was anxious to see what kind of reaction you got from the people. And man, the people were with you, dude. They were behind you, man.
I think it's because I brought the old school type of mentality up there. You don't see a lot of guys, like I said, going up here and actually like being their self. Like I feel like when I'm here at home, like my home base is, I joke around and I'm here, and, it's okay to do that, I guess. But when I'm out there, like I said, I got that chip on my shoulder, and, I don't really play around when I'm at. For one, it's because I don't get a lot of sleep on the road, but it's I don't really play around. I keep to myself. I'm in my rhythm and my zone. Um, I think I'm just a different breed when I'm out of state.
Well, what is your dad and your grandpa? What do they think about you branching out and going that far off to work
Oh,
and
they
stuff?
love it. My dad goes with me. My dad's like,
Oh,
fuck it, I'll
does he?
just use that as an excuse.
Well, that's cool, man. That's really cool, man. That's something y'all get to do together, and it's cool to have somebody with you on the road like that, especially when you go somewhere. Look around here, everybody knows you, but when you're off somewhere where you don't know not one motherfucker,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna stand there with you. It's good to have somebody with you on a trip like that, just for peace of mind. You
Yeah,
know,
I do agree with you there.
it is. Well, Luke, we're fixing to have to get off here, dude. Man, just like Zach, I appreciate you giving me your time, man. Indie Mania, AWA, what's the date on that?
August the 12th.
August the 12th. Now, y'all got a show coming up in July too, don't you? Called Game Over.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes,
What's the
sir.
date on the July show?
July the 15th.
So we got July the 15th for Game Over, and then we got Indie Mania on August the 12th.
Yes.
Okay, sounds like it's going to be a couple of hellacious shows, dude.
Also, I do. I'm a full time. I don't like putting this out there, but I'm the full time booker for Ron now. So
Okay.
we got some NWF. We got some NWA guys coming in for July 29th. They're going to be in the tag tournament or whatever. I think that's going to be a good show also.
Yeah, I didn't know you had got the book over there, but I did know that there was, I mean, not all the talent, but I knew y'all were kind of using some of the same talent on both shows.
Yeah, I still go to Granddad, but of course I still go to Grandpa and them, but yeah, I got full-time books over there now.
Well, let me ask you something, Luke. Being as young as you are, you got the book. How much fucking heat does that get you, man?
A lot,
A lot.
because I get the you know, the I don't know a lot of shit in this business type, you know, ordeal. But it's not. It's just, a lot of this shit is just common sense in wrestling. Like, if it don't make sense, don't do it. If it does, then do it. You know,
That's right. It's logic, man. Be logical. Put your shit together to where it makes sense. You can do the most outlandish shit. You just got to be able to put it together where the people understand it and it makes sense to them.
Right.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you got a lot to do, man. I know we had some. I didn't think I was going to get you because I thought we were done with the show, but I appreciate y'all sticking with me, and I appreciate you coming on with Zach, dude. And
appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, man, I'll get you back on somewhere down the line, dude. I want to get some more of your AWA guys on somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I'm pushing for a lot of our guys to, you know, for these podcasts. Zach's got another one coming up. When is it? Sunday for Dave Ruby. That's going to be in the St. Louis area. What a lot of people don't understand is they're on a podcast. It's not only, you know, exposure for the company, but it's exposure for them. They could get bookings off this shit.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't have that big of an audience, but it is growing. It's growing slow, but it's growing.
Right.
And it's thanks to guys like you, all the other guys I've had on, man. If it wasn't for you guys, there wouldn't even be a show. So, you know, it's good for all of us, man. It's good to. It's good for my podcast. It's good for you guys to get different exposure and maybe open some different fans' eyes. Look, Matt Raster said booking is hard shit, and he ain't lying, man.
Yeah, it is. Because you got to deal with. It's not only dealing with, you know, crybabies and politics, and you know, that's what kills wrestling for a lot of people.
Dude, you ain't gonna get rid of politics, and as long as there's politics, you ain't getting rid of crybabies. So
you gotta work around next year.
You stuck with them, Luke, man. I appreciate you, dude. You have a great night, my brother. All right, y'all. Luke froze up on us at the end, man. Full night of AWA. We had Zach Obrien. We had the third generation SOB, Luke Justice. We had a little technical difficulties, but that's what happens when you're live. Ain't nothing I can do about shit. Talk to Skynet about that. I don't know. We'll have to get the Terminator on that shit. Look, rat bastard, I appreciate you watching, man. You are so welcome. We enjoyed being on here, man, and we appreciate you watching, dude. You're becoming a regular, and I thank you so much for your. I thank everybody that commented, that had something to say. Thank you guys. Thank everybody for watching. You guys know what's happening. Look right above me. And let me say this. You know, I was watching Coach BT, and Coach BT was way ahead of the game on all this social media stuff long before any of us even seen any future in a podcast or anything like that, or even an internet site. Coach BT was up on it, and I was watching some of Coach's stuff, and I noticed that I think I stole this pointing from him. So, Coach BT, this is dedicated to you, man. I'm sorry, dude. I'm pretty sure subconsciously I was watching one of your podcasts and I seen you doing it. And I thought, oh shit, I guess I stole that from Coach. But guys, look above me, Buster H.R. Johnson. Be sure to like all our content. Be sure to share all our content. And most of all, go subscribe to my channel, Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. You guys know how this has got to end. Y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the fuck out of here. Peace. We're out.